My name is Don Diego de la Vega, and I was returning by ship to my California home. One thing puzzled me. Why had my father written me to end my studies in Spain and come home immediately? I learned the reason as we neared the coastline of my beloved California. It was my custom to fence each morning with the ship's capitan. Hey, Hitler!
Yeah, well done, Diego. You learned your swordsmanship well.
Thank you, sir. I shall miss these daily bouts. They have made the long voyage most enjoyable.
Your agility with the sword will serve you well in California.
Why do you say that?
You will find many changes in Los Angeles after being gone 3 years. The new commandante, a man named Monasterio, now rules with an iron hand. He is a terror, this one, as you will find out. I advise you to hide anything you have of value, as his soldiers at the customs house may confiscate it.
Thank you for the warning. I will see my man Bernardo about that now, before we drop anchor. Bernardo, is everything packed? Good. Now, where is that letter of my father's? Ah, yes, this is the one. Certain matters have arisen that I can no longer face alone, my son. Now I know what he could not tell me. Our pueblo is under the heel of a dictator. Burn this letter. We are certain to be searched. No one must suspect that my father sent for me. Remember the old proverb, when you cannot clothe yourself in a lion's skin, put on that of the fox. And that is what I shall do. I will pose as an innocent scholar, bringing home these books to my mission priest. Throw these fencing trophies out the porthole. Now I will don my fanciest gold jacket. What is that, Bernardo? Oh, you also want to be something you are not. Very well. Instead of the sharp-witted knave that you are, you shall play the fool. Now, not only can you not speak, you shall pretend you are deaf. Thus, you shall be my unsuspected ears. Our arrival was as we had been warned. Our luggage was searched, and we were taken to see the Comandante. On our way, we saw a man in chains being led to jail.
Guards, get on.
Sergeant Garcia, that is my neighbor, Nacho Torres. Why is he being taken in?
Treason, Don Diego. The Comandante ordered his arrest. Wait here and I will find out if the Comandante will see you now.
What is it now, you fool?
Sergeant Garcia begs to report that Diego de la Vega, the son of Don Alejandro, has just returned from Spain.
So, I wonder if Don Alejandro called him back. Well, no matter. If he is a troublemaker, I shall handle him like all the others. Send him in.
Si, Comandante. Don Diego, you may come in now.
I am Capitan Enrique Sanchez Monasterio. I am sorry to inconvenience you.
Oh, not at all. It gave me an opportunity to finish this book.
Oh, your return is unexpected, is it not?
Well, I decided to forego another year at the university. All that emphasis on gymnastics, riding, swordsmanship. Why, there were even duels among the students.
I see. Well, I know you're anxious to get home.
What joy filled my heart when I saw our rancho once more. There was joy in seeing my father, too, but I felt a sadness when he spoke of what was happening. I tried to conceal that sadness.
I send a boy to Spain and a man returns. I asked you to come back because I needed your help, Diego. The rancheros are being taxed out of existence. Those who cannot pay are flogged and thrown into prison. Indians are torn from their families and sold as slaves. All for Capitan Monasterio.
I am sorry to find the situation so unpleasant.
Unpleasant? It is intolerable.
You know, this piano is badly out of tune, Father.
Is that all you can think about? But you are tired. Go to your room and sleep. We will discuss it tomorrow.
It made my heart sick, Bernardo, trying to convince my father that I'm a spineless weakling. But I must avoid all suspicion, or his life will be endangered. Now I am free to act. Now I shall be Zorro the Fox. Come with me. I'm going to show you something. I took Bernardo to a remote valley near our rancho. There we found a beautiful black stallion. This is my horse, Tornado. Beautiful, isn't he, Bernardo? A shepherd raised him for me while I was gone, so no one will know he belongs to me. Now help me on with the rest of my costume. The black hat, cape, the mask, and the sword. Now, I am no longer Don Diego de la Vega. I am Zorro. I rode through the darkness to the pueblo of Los Angeles to free Nacho Torres. I arrived at the jail just in time, for the Comandante and Licenciado Pina, an unscrupulous lawyer, were plotting to kill Senor Torres. He would be freed and then shot down as if trying to escape.
I have good news, Senor Torres. I have come to set you free.
Set me free? But you are the lawyer who signed the accusation. Why do you release me?
I discovered the charges against you are false.
Thank you, Licenciado.
Thank you indeed. You have most kindly solved the problem for us.
But who are you?
A friend of the people, El Zorro. The keys, please, Licenciado. Senor Torres, I do not trust this lawyer. Chain him to the bars. Now I suggest we take our leave over the wall. You will find the horse by the tree. Quickly!
What's going on? Stop there!
Over the wall, Senor Torres. Escape while you can. I will take care of the Comandante. Ah! You're very good with the sword, Comandante, but not as good as you think. Now that you're disarmed, kindly step into the cell, please.
Sergeant Garcia! Lancers! Two horse! He's escaping on that black horse! After him! You fools! You fall to the ground! Can you not stay on your horses?
Somebody unbuckle the saddles, Comandante!
Babosos! You let him get away!
Go to the mission of San Gabriel, Senor Torres. Padre Felipe will give you asylum.
I do not know who you are, Senor Zorro, but I owe you my life. I shall never forget.
Go while you have time. If only I could have seen Monastario's face when he read my note. Beware, Comandante. My sword is aflame to right every wrong. So heed well my name. Zorro! I escaped from the Comandante's heavy-footed lancers, and Senor Torres fled to sanctuary at the mission of San Gabriel. But I knew the Comandante would not be content to let my friend remain within the safety of the church. So I decided it was best for me to visit the mission, again in the guise of our mild-mannered student. No, Bernardo, drive slower. With dignity. We're on our way to visit a church. Listen. Horses. Pull the carriage to the side of the road. Monasterio and his lancers. The Comandante has discovered Senor Torres is hidden in the church. Surely even a tyrant such as he would observe the sanctuary of the mission. Or would he? We must hurry. Give me the reins. Senor Torres and Padre Felipe were in the mission orchard, unaware that the Comandante and his men were approaching.
Ah, what excellent oranges, Padre Felipe. And you should be very proud of your work with the Indians.
I am, Senor Torres. At the Mission San Gabriel, we have the finest Indians in the world. They're the ones who'll make a garden out of this place if we just show them how. And now they have the first crop of fruit that hasn't been struck by frost or stolen by pests.
Padre Felipe, why does the bell ring at this time of day?
It's a warning. And look, those clouds of dust. It must be Monasterio and his men. Hurry, to the church. I will try to delay them. Welcome, Capitan. Pax Vobiscum. Peace to you.
Never mind that now, Padre.
And why not? I'm sure you and your men need all the blessings you can get.
Never mind, I said. I'm here to arrest Don Nacho Torres in the name of the crown.
And I am here to protect his sanctuary in the name of the cross.
Then you are ready to admit he is here. Good. Men, search the grounds.
There he is, Capitan. He has gone into the church.
Sanctuary is an absurd law.
Not to Senor Torres. As long as he remains in the church, you may not molest him.
All right, Padre, for the moment you win. But don't get the idea you can interfere for long with the king's justice.
Oh, heaven forbid. But now you'll excuse me, won't you? We are short of helpers, and there is fruit to be put in the granary before the frosts of nightfall. Come again, any time, Capitan.
Oh, it's you, Don Diego. What are you doing here?
I had some thought of praying. Is that what you were about to do?
Ha! I suppose everyone knows Torres has taken refuge here.
And that rustic friar will not give him up, eh? Oh, what a nuisance for you.
Don't worry, I have my plans. Good day, Don Diego. Sergeant Garcia, get all the Indians out of the orange groves and take them up to that hill. That's where I want the new road.
But there are rocks there, Capitan.
Of course, you idiot. That's what we need the Indians for, to move the rocks.
But why do we need a new road? The old road goes so nicely to the same place.
Military expediency, that's why. Now follow your orders and use the whip if necessary.
Si, Comandante.
And so the Comandante ordered the Indians from their task with the oranges and whipped them until they performed the senseless job of moving the stones. Padre Felipe protested that the year's crop of oranges would be ruined in the night frost, but Monasterio was unyielding. He believed that this misfortune to the mission would cause Senor Torres to surrender. Meanwhile, I continued to play Don Diego the student as I sat at the mission organ. Bernardo, did you send for the Indians from our rancho to carry the oranges inside? And did you bring Tornado to the back of the mission? Good. Now we are ready for the Comandante. And here he comes.
You have talked to Senor Torres?
Oh, I have talked to him all right. It looks as though you have won. He is upset over the trouble he has caused the mission. As you see, he is asking forgiveness for all the misery he has caused the Indians. And since this is his last visit to the church...
All right, let him pray. Does he pray still?
Oh, yes. He has much to ask forgiveness for.
What is it?
There were more Indians out there, carrying oranges instead of rocks. Don't ask me where they came from.
The oranges. They're all gone. Clever trick by someone, but I will have the last word. Now I will see how much punishment the Padres Indians can take.
I must give myself up. It is not worth all that suffering for the Indians.
No, Senor Torres, you can still...
No, Diego. I must. Your trick with the oranges helped, but I am afraid nothing else will help now.
I excused myself from Senor Torres, and when he could not see me, I dashed through the church and out to where Bernardo was waiting for me with Tornado. I became Zorro, mounted Tornado, and galloped to the hill where Monastario's soldiers were lavishing their cruelty to the Indians.
It's Zorro!
I relieve you of that pistol. Run! Run, all of you, to the hills! Run! Stay till you get word to return! Run! It's Zorro!
Do what he says.
The Black Demon!
Capture us! Lancers! Lancers! Stop those Indians! Stop those horses! Stop Zorro!
Now all was wonderful confusion. The horses were stampeded away by my whip. The soldiers were equally frightened, and they were running in all directions. Unfortunately, Senor Torres had come out of the church and was preparing to surrender. Go back to the church, Senor Torres! Go back to safety!
Stop him! He's getting back to the church! You fools, he is escaping! I'll get him with my pistol!
Oh no, Comandante! How do you like this whip around you? And now I shall drag you to the church, where you would do well to consider your sins. Farewell, Comandante. You may find the result much more sour the next time you try to despoil Padres oranges.
Get me a horse! A horse!
Si, Comandante. But what horse?
Follow those Indians! Order the troops! Catch him!
Si, Comandante. But what troops?
Senor Torres returned to the sanctuary of the mission. And once again, Capitan Monasterio felt the lash of justice. Don Nacho Torres remained in the church, protected by the law of sanctuary. But the Comandante, Monasterio, was determined to make Torres his prisoner. And to do this, he had to lure Torres out of the church where he could be captured. Monasterio devised a clever plan, and I was visiting the mission when the Comandante arrived.
Buenos dias, Padre.
Buenos dias.
Senor de la Vega.
Buenos dias.
I suppose you returned with a new scheme to break the law of sanctuary?
Not at all. I've returned to protect church property and your lives.
Against what?
Against a surprise attack by hostile Indians.
Oh, there are no hostile Indians here. They are all my children.
You think so? One of the Indians has confessed to me that his people are planning to burn the mission and kill you.
That is impossible.
Why, they love Padre Felipe.
They have planned revenge for a long time. They mean to strike under cover of darkness. I have no choice but to put this mission under martial law.
A shabby trick, Capitan Monasterio.
On the contrary, I am performing my duty. You are beloved by all the people. I cannot risk leaving you unprotected when there is imminent danger of a bloody massacre. Padre, I formally declare this mission to be under my personal military command. Now, if you please, I shall select a private room for my headquarters. Sergeant Garcia, bring 2 guards and come with me. Come, this way.
Don Diego, it is quite obvious what the Comandante has in mind. Unable to get Don Nacho any other way, he now invents a false Indian uprising as an excuse to take over the mission.
But as long as Don Nacho remains in the church, he is protected by sanctuary.
True, but Monasterio will keep him in there. How long can Don Nacho live without food or water?
Plainly, this was a situation to be handled by Zorro. That night, I donned my mask and cloak and successfully eluded the guards to deliver food and water to the grateful Don Nacho. Capitan Monasterio had surrounded the mission with his lancers, and only by trickery could we free Don Nacho from the evil grasp of the Comandante. So it was trickery we used. With the help of my trusted servant Bernardo, I laid a careful plan. Then, next day, I rode in my carriage to the mission.
Halt! Who goes there?
It is only I, Diego de la Vega, come to see Padre Felipe.
Oh, Don Diego. I am temporarily in command here. Would you please dismount? Now, why do you want to see Padre Felipe?
I have an old manuscript he expressed a desire to see.
May I see this document?
Certainly.
What is this secret writing?
Oh, that is Latin, Sergeant.
Oh, of course, I know that. But what does it say?
Oh, I don't think you would be interested. It's just an account of something rather strange that happened here many years ago.
Strange? What was it?
It seems that when this mission was built back in 1771, a band of marauding savages struck in the dead of night. They captured an unfortunate monk and they tortured him until he went mad. He was tied to that very tree under which you stand. Oh, it was smaller then, naturally. Ever since, so the tale goes, his ghost has haunted the mission on dark, moonless nights.
The ghost of the mad monk?
I am surprised you never heard of it. The mission Indians claim to have seen it, but, well, they are superstitious natives.
What do they think they saw?
A figure in a cowled robe rising from the graves back of the church. Then it walks through the empty corridors, moaning and clanking chains, sometimes emitting a ghoulish laugh. Oh, the rest is so unbelievable, I do not think you would be interested.
Oh, go on, Don Diego, please, tell me.
You promise you won't repeat it?
Oh, I promise.
Well, the legend says that at midnight, when the spirit walks, the church bell rings mysteriously. It is regarded as a warning of some dire event to come.
A warning?
An omen of death approaching, like the hoot of an owl. Of course you are much too enlightened to believe in such nonsense.
No, of course. But then what happens?
The narrative ends abruptly. But the ancient scribe was found in the morning, lying here, where you are, stiff and stark.
Dead?
Exceedingly so. Ah, here comes Padre Felipe.
A lancer told me you were here, Diego.
Yes, Padre, I've brought the manuscript you were so anxious to see.
Manuscript?
Let us walk to your garden and we shall discuss it together. Farewell, Sergeant.
What about this manuscript?
Nothing, Padre. Just a little joke between Sergeant Garcia and myself. Padre, do you believe in intuition?
Oh, I suppose I do. Why do you ask?
I seem to feel that this reign of terror is coming to an end soon.
I hope so. Let us pray that it does.
I remained at the mission, and toward midnight, when the sky was black and there was no moon, I again became Zorro. First, I stationed Bernardo with bow and arrows near the mission wall. Then I prepared a slingshot and took aim at the mission bell.
What was that? Who rang the bell? Corporal, did you? You, Private, did you? Who is ringing the bell? It cannot ring by itself.
What's the meaning of this? Why did the bell ring?
I am trying to find out, Capitan. Oh, what's that?
What's what?
Something is moving over there by the cemetery.
Go see what it is.
Me? But officers should lead, sir.
We will go together.
Oh, it's a ghost.
Ghost? What ghost?
The ghost of the mad monk.
Bah! Ghosts and phantoms do not exist. Ortega, remain here on guard. Sergeant Garcia and I will find out who this ghost really is.
There he is, behind that tombstone.
That is no ghost. That is Zorro! I will take care of him. What was that?
An arrow. The Indians are attacking just like you said they would.
Quiet, you fool. The story was not true. It was merely a falsehood so I could encircle the mission. Sergeant Garcia, stop!
Help! We'll all be massacred!
Stop! I command you!
Horse lancers! Back to the quartel! We shall defend it to the last man!
Stop! All of you! Come back!
So it was. With my trusted friend Bernardo, a few arrows, an old chain, and a slingshot, Zorro outwitted Capitan Monasterio and scattered his soldiers. Later that night, Don Nacho left the deserted mission and set out for Monterrey to plead his case with the governor. Don Nacho Torres, with the help of Zorro, fled Southern California to journey to Monterrey, there to present his case to the governor. When Don Nacho escaped from his grasp, Capitan Monasterio imprisoned Senora Torres and her beautiful daughter Elena. The reason was simple. He wanted to use them as bait to lure Zorro to the pueblo, and when the masked rider appeared, Monasterio would be ready for him. When Padre Felipe and I heard of the lady's imprisonment, we called on the Comandante.
Padre, I offer the seat to your robe. Don Diego, you may stand. Now then, what can I do for you?
Comandante, we have come about Senora Torres and Senorita Elena.
I will not discuss the prisoners. That is not an ecclesiastical matter.
The church is always concerned with her children, Comandante, not with legal distinctions.
I am holding them because they helped Don Nacho Torres to escape. What is going on there?
This man tried to force his way in, Comandante. It was only due to my great alertness and presence of mind that I was able...
Silencio! I didn't ask how clever you are. I know. Now, who is this intruder?
It is Benito.
Well, Benito, what have you to say?
Please, Comandante, I came to see the Senorita Elena. I must see her.
What right have you to speak in this manner of Senorita Elena?
Benito is young and impulsive, Comandante. He is also in love.
And he is my head vaquero. I can hardly afford to lose him.
Very well. He's not the game I'm after. Sergeant, as usual, you arrest the wrong man. You may go, Benito. But hear me well. If an Indian such as you ever again mentions the name of a Spanish lady with such ardor, you'll wish you'd been born without a tongue. Get out!
In one day, Comandante, you do more harm to Spain's relations with the good people of this land than all our missions can undo in a year.
Sergeant Garcia.
See, mi comandante?
Padre Felipe and Don Diego were also leaving. Please escort them out, as you did Benito.
Si, comandante.
Will you accept bail for the ladies, Capitan?
Yes. Their bail will be nothing less than a full confession.
There was work for Zorro that night, and I instructed my trusted servant Bernardo to saddle my horse and have him hidden near the church. But before I could assume the identity of Zorro, another masked man with a flowing black cape appeared on the roof of the jail and silently descended into the deep shadows near the cell of Senora Torres. Suddenly, he materialized from the darkness, struck down the guard with the flat of his sword. Silently taking the iron keyring, he rushed across the courtyard to the cell block where Senora Torres and the beautiful Elena waited. He tried one key in the lock, but it did not fit. He tried another. As time grew precious, he redoubled his efforts to release the women. But a trooper, discovering the masked man, called out the guard.
Guard! Guard!
Frantic now, the masked man jammed still another key into the lock. But the latch would not turn. Panic crossed his face as he heard,
It's Zorro! Grab him! Now at last we shall see the outlaw so long eluded the king's justice.
See, we have him this time, comandante.
We? Take your ugly face away. I'll deal with the prisoner. Zorro, it will give me great pleasure to hang you. Now to see who you really are. Off with the mask.
I would never have suspected Benito.
The lovesick Indian Zorro? Of course not. Yet I want him to stay away. Garcia, prepare a gallows for the summary execution of this prisoner. Now clear out, everybody.
The gallows was prepared. There was no wooden frame. Instead, Sergeant Garcia stretched a rope over the entrance to the cuartel, then backed up an ox cart on which the condemned prisoner would stand. The only person allowed to see Benito was a priest, covered from head to toe in plain monastic robes.
Bring the prisoner out. I'm with it, Sergeant. Indian, I hope you have already spoken with the priest, because you will have no other opportunity.
May I die without chains?
I suppose so. Sergeant Garcia, remove his chains. Now you finished, Padre. Good. Start the wagon.
Just a moment, Comandante.
He's not a priest.
No, it is Zorro.
After him.
Catch the prisoner!
No, not the prisoner, stupid. I want Zorro. Capture him.
But he is going up the ladder on the new church.
Then follow him.
Me? But, comandante, the ladder does not look too strong.
Stupid fat ox. I should have known you would fall. Very well, I shall capture Zorro. Sergeant, surround the building.
All by myself?
Gonzales, Ortega, around him back. See, he climbs higher on the scaffolding. I'll have the pleasure of forcing him from the topmost rung.
Well, Molestari, you come to fight your own battles.
Zorro laughs now, but not for long.
Is your blade as sharp as your tongue, Capitan? We shall see.
I'll show you who is master. Look, here comes Garcia to my aid.
Lancers, up this ladder! We'll surround Zorro from all sides!
Capitan, you condemn innocent men. You imprison helpless women. You exploit the peaceful Indians. You violate the church. But Zorro shall bring justice to our land.
What are you doing?
Quickly, with my sword, I cut the thongs that held the scaffolding.
Help! I'm falling! Ah!
Yes, that is but the beginning of your fall, and the rise of truth and honest government in California. That is the promise of Zorro.